Wow, what a trade deadline it was in the NFL. A record number of trades already in season. Chris Hassel, Kyle Long, Terron Armstead, couple of all-pros here. We're going to get to all the big moves, Sauce to the Colts, maybe even a sleeper move from Terron. But let's start with the Jets, who you see this in baseball a lot, the fire sale. You know, I mean, the Jets sending their stars away, collecting their picks.
Just let everybody into the driveway.
My question is, it's great for the future, but like if you're one of those players left behind and the stars leave the locker room, what is that like?
They're essentially conceding for the season, giving the season a wash. I'm a big Aaron Glenn guy. He was one of my coaches for 6 years in New Orleans. I believe in him. I believe in what he's building. Him being under Dan Campbell in Detroit, we saw those guys go winless to being a number one seed. So I believe in him and that time that it takes to build the program that he wants. I'm sure that he has that type of message to the locker room. These guys can understand the direction. And for guys like Sauce and Quentin Williams, they get an opportunity to go play meaningful football. But for New York and with the Jets, Aaron Glenn, he gets a chance to build his baby. Like, he gets a chance to build the roster that he feels can give them a chance to win for the future. I think that the Jets won yesterday. I think long term, it's to be seen. Like, they have to hit on a lot of these picks or maybe even trade some of that draft capital for more veteran players in the future. But it gives him an opportunity to build the roster that he wants.
Yeah, and relative to where they were 2 days ago, this team's in a better place for the future, to your point. I mean, they weren't going to win the Super Bowl this year. They barely can win a game this season. So let's find a way to put ourselves in position to have great success in the draft and maybe through the trade market with those picks that you have. And I'm glad you touched on Aaron Glenn because when you've got a defensive coach, defensive coaches are very particular about who they have on their side of the ball. So they get rid of some of these guys that, yes, they're big-name players and great players and guys that I would hate to play against. But maybe Aaron Glenn's like, we can get 2 guys that I like, 3 guys that I really love to play on my defense. And next thing you know, the New York Jets run out of the tunnel next season, and it's a completely new-look team. So there's a lot to be made about 2 first-round picks coming in. That's awesome. People are pissed about Sauce Gardner being gone. Quentin Williams, because they rooted for him. My kids got their jersey. But there might be 3 new jerseys coming down the pipe. So just be patient, I would say.
So Sauce goes to the Colts, Quinnen to the Cowboys. Which one of those trades is more impactful for the team that got them, do you guys think? Is it the Colts getting Sauce Gardner as they go for it? Or is it the Cowboys maybe giving their fans some hope here in the middle of the season with Quinnen Williams?
To me, the Colts are the winner of the day. Trade deadline was active yesterday. Historic day, as you mentioned, Chris. The Colts are the winner because you get a guy who's arguably the best corner in the NFL since he walked in the door. His rookie year, All-Pro. So Xavier Howard signed before the season. He surprise retires 3-4 weeks in. They've been searching for this one position. They feel very comfortable about everything else. The O-line is fired, D-line is fired. They feel comfortable about everything else. That cornerback depth was their one concern. They didn't just answer it. Like, they solved it. Sauce can come in, take away a side of the field, allow those other guys to play in a different way, in a different manner. The Colts are sitting at 7-2.
Yes.
They are the winner of the day.
Yeah, still the 1 seed in the AFC despite that loss.
All those chips just right to the middle of the table there for the Colts. And, you know, a lot of people are going to overreact about that Steelers loss this past week. But I'm not overreacting. That'll be a learning experience for Shane Steichen. Hand the ball to Jonathan Taylor another dozen times, and that might solve some of those protection issues. As you and I understand, you got to run the ball in order to have the threat to open up that stuff in the passing game. And they got kind of abused in the pass protection department. But when you get Sauce Gardner, you give yourself a chance when you go play against those fire-breathing dragons in the AFC at the quarterback position, because there's no shortage of great quarterbacks coming down the line in the AFC playoff picture. And that's where the Colts are going to have to get through. You got to have somebody to cover one of those great options at the receiver position. Sauce Gardner is going to be a good answer for that.
What do you think of the difference between what the Jets did and what the Dolphins did? Because many thought, oh, they're going to send Waddle out of here, they're going to sell all their assets. The Dolphins pretty much stood pat with the exception of one trade, but the Jets are giving their fans hope for the future while the Dolphins are doing what?
The Dolphins still have guys that are a part of the future. and that this regime brought in as well. So Jalen Waddle has been with Mike McDaniel now for 4 years. Aaron Glenn has been with Sauce and Quentin Williams for 6 months. So I think that's the difference here. Like Kyle said, defensive coaches want somebody that fits their style of play, their style of defense. You get a talent like Jalen Waddle, he can play in any offense, any style offense, whatever you want to do. You want to change to this, change to that, he can do it. He's 26 years old. He's on a favorable contract, too, moving forward. He's under contract till 2028. So you trade Jalen Waddle for a first-round pick in hopes of drafting Jalen Waddle. Like, you want that player on your team. You want his production and consistency. So I think the Dolphins stay put in a lot of ways because the guys that they do have, they're familiar with, and they are looking to move forward with those guys.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel, offensive coach, he ain't letting his number one weapon go. I mean, we don't know the future of Tyreek Hill. Although he is unbelievable, we don't know how he's going to recover. But if there's anybody who can recover physically, it'll be Reek. I think Champ Kelly, standing in now as the GM, the interim GM, because of Chris Greer's mutual departure, I guess. The first thing I'm doing is I'm not getting rid of our best offensive player, and I think that's where they're at. And if they want to deal some guys, you talk to Chop Robinson being a special player and having no limit to his upside. It makes sense why Jalen Phillips was able to walk and get traded. So this offense will remain the offense, like you said, the center, the tackle, the quarterback, the receiver, the running back. What more can you ask for when you're trying to build something special?
I asked you guys for the biggest move, and you said it was Sauce Gardner to the Colts, not Quentin Williams to the Cowboys. What does that do for the Cowboys, if anything? Maybe it doesn't do anything. Rand Carthon was up on CBS Sports HQ after the trade, and he said it's kind of like an illusion of hope that Jerry Jones is giving Cowboys fans. What does this give them?
Yeah, it's Cowboys have more than one issue. They do. But their biggest is pass rush. And Michael Parsons, he's in Green Bay. They had a chance to solve their pass rush issue in the offseason. They chose to do otherwise. So we're here. And you get Quentin Williams, who is a great pass rusher. He's an all-pro talent. He's very, very tough to go against. I've played against the guy several times. He's one of the reasons I'm right here talking to you guys. So for him to come over and for them to be able to build around that talent, they got Kenny Clark too in the Michael Parsons trade. So the interior D-line is exceptional. They are fire. Those two, you can put those names.
It's a tough day at the office.
That's a tandem that you can put up against anybody in the league. The issue still being their outside rush isn't anything that you're concerned about. So hopefully Quentin Williams can generate enough pressure inside to help those guys on the outside, Trayvon Diggs, Deron Bland, to be able to get more opportunities for turnovers and takeaways. Cowboys' issues are just the list is a little longer than just Quentin Williams.
The old laundry list, Kyle.
Quentin Williams, great run stopper. And if you're a guy that can stop the run, that's incredibly valuable for a football team, particularly a football team that's playing from behind. Because, these teams, they get up on you by one score, and then they just bleed you out for 3 quarters. So if you could stop the run, get a stop, it gives you an opportunity to get Dak Prescott the football back.
How about an under-the-radar move that you think could pay major dividends?
I got one. Chris, Kyle. It's a guy that most of the football world hasn't seen much because the New Orleans Saints hadn't played on national TV that much in the last few years. Rashid Shaheed going to Seattle with Sam Darnold, who is also a sleeper MVP candidate now. Let's not overshadow that at all. He's playing incredibly well. JSN on the other side, who could arguably be the best receiver in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Him, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. We don't know. He's lights out. But you add Rashid Shaheed, he's a dynamic home run hitter. He really is. He's a one-play threat. He's an all-pro as a returner. The value that he's going to bring to that offense, opposite side of JSN, Kenneth Walker in the backfield, Charbonnet in the backfield, Sam Darnold's playing at the highest level of his career. That Rashid Shaheed addition takes this Seattle Seahawks team and this offense to the very top. I strongly feel that way. You just wait and see. Listen, people, wait and see. Sleeper pick.
So I love that you said that, because when the Seattle Seahawks brought in Clint Kubiak, if anybody who watched the New Orleans Saints with Clint Kubiak, they ran the hell out of the football and they went two-man route concepts downtown, okay?
So Rashid Shaheed?
They went over the top to Rashid Shaheed. And that was like, it was the most beautiful thing to watch. It was like 1990s quarterback football, you know, big, heavy formations, pound it, pound it, pound it, over the top. And then when he went to Seattle, you're looking at Jackson Smith and Jigba, who, you know, for sake of this conversation, was not Jackson Smith and Jigba last year. He's a good player.
Right,
he wasn't him yet.
Yeah.
And Cooper Kupp. Neither of those two guys are going to take the top off the defense. You, of all people, have seen the top getting taken off of defenses because of the speed you played with. So the underneath stuff becomes a little bit cushier. You got more space at the second level of the defense. And oh yeah, you got to know where number 22 is at all times. So I agree with you. The Seahawks, who are a dominant football team right now, get even better and more explosive offensively.
NFC is wild right now, from the top seed right now all the way down to the first team out of the playoffs, the Bears at 8, separated by just one game halfway through the season.